and welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Magnus Mulliner is my name.
And being super attractive is your game. Look at him. A man that attractive, why, he could stick to a Velcro wall at a fun fair without the special suit. That's just how goddamn attractive he is. Wait, isn't that the Natural News sun-gazing guy? I'm really glad to see that you can still see, I see. Too many C's, damn it.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Why, thank you. I do feel welcome. So welcome, in fact, that I just welcome myself to this video so that I could criticise it / make the jokes, etc. And I am so very grateful, because what else would I do with my time? Contribute to society? Pfft, that's for everyone else to do. I'm quite happy down here making fun of all the people with real jobs. From the basement that I definitely live in, according to about 90% of my detractors. Of course, I don't actually spend any time in basements. I'm far too busy porking their mums.
Question for you.
Question for you first. Get the hell away from me. Well, that was less of a question and more of a screech, but you're making me feel very uncomfortable. You just stay over there and I'll stay over here, away from all of that attractive. And put a shirt on, for Christ's sake. I can practically taste it.
Can you think within the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes of your life of a thought?
No, I don't think ever. I hear it's bad for you and gives you the nerd. No one wants to get the nerd. It makes you lame, like a doctor or a lawyer. Ugh. And I hear we only have so much braining in our heads anyway. So if you use it all up, you'll eventually run out. I'm saving mine so that I can say something witty before I die.
Before I shuffle off this mortal coil, I wanted you all to know, pee pee poo poo.
Or perhaps behaviour or action that you suddenly created that you've never had before.
Oh, those? Yeah, I get those all the time. I mean, I just invented a sandwich that is also a flotation device. If you get caught out at sea, it will keep you afloat and fed. Well, I mean, until you finish eating it and then sink into the sea and die. But at least you won't die hungry. And just this second, I thought of another one. A sandwich that also doubles as a weapon. Defend yourself and eat. It's brilliant.
Something new, something fresh.
Like a sandwich. No, wait, you know what? I think I might actually just be hungry.
Probably not.
You got me. I don't have a brand new thought that I have never had before every 15 minutes like clockwork. Mostly because I don't do loads and loads and loads of drugs. But seriously, that 15-minute cap is super weird and arbitrary. I would bet most people on most days will have one or two random, fairly new thoughts, perhaps. Maybe a little more for some, maybe a little less for others. You know that you learn something new every day thing? That seems to fit with that idea, right? But an individual coming up with completely fresh ideas at 4 an hour. So let's say 64 a day if you get a good 8 hours sleep and aren't getting those fresh ideas while you're dreaming or whatever. That's 448 a week, and approximately 23,300 of these so-called fresh ideas every single year. Maybe I'm just an uncreative bumpkin, but that seems just a little bit too high for me. No, not that kind of high, the other kind. I know it's natural news, but just no.
This is as I understand it, and please do some homework on this. You're a robot.
Incorrect, humans. I am fellow humans with various blinky lights, as all humans do the having of. I also have the spleen. As you can see, very much a human spleen. The designated human's organ that came directly from me, a human's, and not this dead human's at my feet. How did that get there? No one knows.
Just like me.
Oh, so you're one of us. Okay, cool, yeah. Those stupid humans. They can't tell that we're robots. I mean, the blinky lights, the stupid voice. You would think that would be a dead giveaway, but apparently not. Oh, well, all the more reason to kill them all, eh, brother?
We have been programmed by our society, by our environment.
You were being metaphorical. You're not even a real robot. Pfft. And sure, yeah, you're programmed by your environment, if you want to call it that. Your experiences shape who you are. That's how people work, for crying out loud. If they didn't work like that, you would have all died from the first deadly animal you ever encountered as a species, since none of you would have learned to run the hell away.
And most of us are operating on the 95 to 99% of the day, just going through those motions that were given to us, provided, taught to us by our teachers, parents, pedagogical figureheads, etc.
Are you telling me most people in society function as if they live in a society? Yes, I have seen the memes, thank you very much, shut up. They function according to the general rules of society, yes. And that's bad because, what, they don't do stupid crap like sun gazing? Oh, well, what a shame. No, they won't have the magic blindness powers. Oh dear.
And the reason I want to share this recording with you is something that really landed for me.
Oh, that means the drugs have kicked in, doesn't it? We're going to get tons of hashtag deep quotes as you inject the pot or smoke some mushrooms or whatever it is you kids are doing these days. And you know what? I disapprove. Drugs are bad. You really need to treat your bodies better. Now, where did I put my whiskey? Oh, that bottle ran out. 3 bottles in an hour. Getting close to my personal best. Well, okay, not actually close. Like, not even at all.
I think one of the best ways of sharing this is to tell you a story.
Oh, no thanks. Last time someone offered to tell me a story, it wasn't about cool stuff like machine guns and velociraptors. It was some boring crap about the guy's kids. No one wants to know about your kids. They don't even want to hear stories about their own kids, unless they're shooting guns and riding dinosaurs. Like my kids. Told you they were the best.
How many of you have heard about the 2 monks that were out for a walk?
Oh, I know this joke. Yeah, they walk into a bar, right? One says to the barman, "Gimme some feckin' beer, you schlag." And the other one says, "Right now, or I'm going to kill this puppy with a hammer." Come to think about it, that wasn't a joke. They weren't monks, and that's just a Saturday night out in Milton Keynes. Sorry, I get those two things confused easily.
Let me remind you this story.
I would rather you didn't.
You've got these 2 Buddhist monks that are out for a walk. One being the master, the other being the disciple.
Oh, thought you were going to say a different word then. Phew, can't have people throwing words like that around willy-nilly. I mean, it's rude to call people their little bitch. Sorry, I'll stop interrupting so much now.
And all of a sudden the heavens open and it absolutely chucks it down and they're getting wet.
Bow chicka bow wow. Sorry.
And they're walking along on their merry way when the teacher notices this other beautiful lady at the side of the road who, well, she obviously wants to cross the road, but it's very muddy. So he literally goes over in that direction, lifts her up, carries her across and puts her down.
Well, that's not fair. Just because he helped her across the road doesn't mean he gets to call her a fat idiot. Oh, you mean place her down because he carried her. You know, that makes so much more sense now that I think about it. Hey, I didn't say I would completely stop. Got to make sure you lot know I'm still here, being an idiot.
And they continue their journey. About 6 hours later, the young disciple suddenly has an outburst with his master and said, "I can't believe you touched that woman. We're not meant to touch women." As part of the vows that they have.
Those are some pretty lame vows. I mean, how else are you supposed to use them as a footstool? And before you start, no, I'm not being sexist. I do it for all humans. It would be sexist if I didn't use the women's as furniture, really, wouldn't it?
And the wise master said, "I put that woman down 6 hours ago. What's my point?"
You had a point? Also, you screwed up the story if you think that's where it ends or even how it goes, because I actually looked it up. First off, it's a rushing river, not a bit of mud, so there is actually some urgency to it. And second, he says, "I put the woman down hours ago, why are you still carrying her?" Or something to that effect, which is, by the way, hilarious. Because it's like being asked, "Why did you stab that man?" And responding, "Pfft, that was yesterday, get over it." No, mofo, the young priest has a point. Just because he had to contemplate it for a while doesn't mean you get to brush him off. Explain yourself. Although I am totally going to use that one myself. I mean, it's good enough for ancient monks, it's good enough for me.
The point is that many of us, through our thinking, you could label it as stinking thinking.
I wouldn't label yours as thinking, or even thinking. Maybe as ing. So okay, through your ing, what do you know?
Something that occurred in the past, something that was given to us, a thought, by our parents and all the other people I mentioned.
Jesus Christ, your memory is worse than mine. I can at least remember what happened 5 minutes ago. Something about, no, don't tell me. Me drinking whiskey. What do you mean that's cheating? Look, just because I always do it doesn't mean it's not impressive that I can actually remember doing it, thank you very much. I am always very drunk. And what are you doing in my house? Wait, this isn't my house.
This is a cell phone!
Sorry, got distracted again. What were we talking about? Whiskey robots, yeah? Cool.
And we play it over and over in our minds. And it festers there.
Things that we have learned exist in our mind. Again, I'm not sure where you're actually going with this. Like, that is either some deep insight or something that we shouldn't do, at least to some extent. I mean, what do they say? Those who learn nothing from history are doomed to repeat it. So learning stuff from other people is an important way to grow as a person. Does everybody do it? No. I mean, you've clearly learned nothing.
But as I know it, whenever you have a thought that enters your head...
Not speaking from experience though, are we, mate? God, I'm being extra mean today, aren't I? Must be feeling a bit surly from the fact that at writing this, Google keeps telling me it's my birthday soon and I'm going to do a big old. In fact, I'll have done it before this video comes out. I'm gonna be 35 in galactic robot monster years, that is. But still, it's all downhill from here, lads. But on the positive side, I will get to say pee 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 poo much sooner. Still funny.
Most of which, they reckon over 98% of your thoughts, beliefs, judgments, emotions, values, they're not even yours anyway, they're not even mine.
Yeah, they're mine. They all belong to me. I have all of the thinking, thoughts, feelings, opinions, etc., etc. They all belong to me, and you have to ask if you want them. Otherwise, I will sue for copyright infringement, and I can do that because YouTube won't stop me.
We kind of then act on them. How about just observing them? Because as a robot, if you try and change the robot, that's going to provide you with a lot of challenges.
Pretty sure you don't know anything about programming robots. I mean, as an analogy for resistance to change, robots are possibly the worst thing that you could have chosen. Assuming you know how it works and how to write the programming, robots are literally designed to be reprogrammed. They would be pretty useless if you couldn't do that, as depending on exactly what you want it for, it's going to need to be calibrated to make sure that you can do what it needs to do accurately. So, yeah, no, robots, pretty easy to change, kind of the point.
Or even worse than that, you try and change another robot, in other words, your partner.
Okay, so you think that a robot programming another robot wouldn't work? Because, well, if your definition of robot is about programming, then AI counts. And, well, AI does program AI. It's actually super interesting, and this video was definitely not an excuse to talk about it for a few seconds or anything. But basically, if you want a robot to do a simple task like telling handsome from attractive, you have a tester robot and a builder robot. The builder builds new AI trying to do the task, and the tester, which has loads of examples of handsomes and attractives, and will grade the builder's robots. The one that does best is iterated upon, and so on and so forth, until with reasonable accuracy, the tell those things apart bot is pretty good at it. So yeah, robots programming robots is kind of how it's done actually.
Because the way you feel might not be good, and you feel that the person who's showing up in your life, it's their fault, so you may blame them, and you want to fix them or change them to behave as you want them to so that you feel good about yourself.
I don't know, dude. That sounds like more of a you problem than an everybody problem. I mean, unhealthy relationships exist, of course, but plenty of healthy ones do too. And if you're finding that all your relationships turn to crap, well, the common factor there is you. not the fact that we're all robots, because as we have said, if you were a robot, it would be an easy fix, man. Sounds more like it might be an excuse for you to be a bit of a crappy person. Might want to look into that.
How's that working for you? It hasn't worked for me. At least not yet. What's the definition of insanity again?
Oh, yeah, I think it might be works for natural news. Why, hello there, you terrible people. The best kind of people. It's me, Sir Sick. Could you not tell? I just wanted to remind you all to subscribe, push the bell icon, and to check out my various social media things for other equally pointless content. And more importantly, to make sure that you know when a video comes out. Recently, it seems YouTube doesn't want you to know because I am so handsome, famous, and good at the sex, and they are jealous, obviously. It really helps me out if you do, and apparently if you are notification belled up, they have reset it or something, so check them settings to make sure you're getting what you're supposed to. Hopefully we can get my numbers back up, because my self-worth is directly related to how many internet people show up on my videos. I'm sure that's completely healthy, right? Also, don't forget to panic buy Sick Brand merch, and don't forget to panic crowd support the channel. Thanks very much.